The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Stafford. And the pressure gets to him again. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeForest Buckner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. Touchdown, 49ers. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. Hey, he's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Chris Jones on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On on second down, a run with Breida. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. He'll drop to throw as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down. How big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side, and down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Watch the screen. 54, right there. 54 miles.
Now it's Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
260. Here we go.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. He has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Stafford. Screenplay. Johnson. Oh, good move at the 10. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Switch.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll try to run it in. Johnson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Double time.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Gardner Minshew, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well, as we are back and started in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cassius Marsh able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort, picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Line 36. And here we go. Watch the pass.
Second and 13. They'll set up a screen for Breida. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
He'll look to throw. Completes it to Samuel. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll set up to throw. And this is caught. It's Cooper. Touchdown, 49ers. Amari Cooper. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Fielded about a yard deep. Then it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Johnson. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This one complete to Lacey. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field. So he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Stafford to his tight end, James. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the ground, this is Johnson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night, and that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score, couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within 1 score would have been a powerful motivator for their defense to take the field with.
Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
2nd and 2. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. 2nd and 1. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Cooper's got him. And down inside the 15 he goes. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Check down to Breida. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Second and 6. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Cooper was the target there, but now it's third and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? They'll set up a throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Gold is able to put it through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8-up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Let's go, boys, bring it up!
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Waiting.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down. To throw again on second down. Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third.
Watch the slant, watch the slant.
To the air again, Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Breida. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And the Lions quick. Now going to use the last of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll fire a desperation throw for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call? Is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half. And nope,